I hope we're not going to have to stop and put the rain kit on.
Hi folks, welcome to this video and this series. I'm Charles, and this is me traveling from my home close to Montreal in Quebec in Canada, all the way to British Columbia, to Vancouver, God willing. I'm going to be splitting this up into 5, 6, 8 episodes, who knows, because I'm not going to subject you to a 4-hour video. As you can see by the color of my face, I'm already halfway through this thing. This is the end of day 4. I hope you have a good time watching this, and let's get right into it. I want to thank my employer for allowing me to buy all the stuff that I use on this trip and for allowing me the time off. Nobody sent me anything. Nobody is asking me for any kind of sponsorship message or anything like that. So please don't skip like 2 minutes, because we're getting right into it now. Well, good morning. I made it. I slept a lot better than the night before, the other camping. It's cold today though. It has to have gotten down around 10. I had my trusty beanie on most of the night, but I was comfy in here. But this is a summer setup, like much colder than this. I'm gonna have to be like fully dressed in here and stuff. So for now, it'll do. It's about 6:45 in the morning. I'm going to visit the showers for sure and have some coffee and a quick breakfast. And the destination today is Kenora. The first pit stop should be Thunder Bay, where hopefully I can grab some phone service and tell my family that I'm fine. So there's no service out here. So all right, I'll get out and start packing up, I guess. It's time for the wool this morning, for sure. Alright, well, just boiling some water for some coffee. I took the bag off, the bear bag that I hung, and I got the fire going again. I had some wood left over from last night. Everything was so damp and wet last night, the wood, that it didn't last very long. I had a hard time keeping it going, so whatever. I got it going again this morning now, and I'm just gonna have some coffee here. If I can find the coffee itself, there it is. So the inside part of the rain fly of the tent is a bit damp. It's gonna dry as best I can, but it's gonna go in a dry bag in one of these Lone Rider 10-liter, and I'll put that in the stuff bag that I pack on the motorcycle. I can't be bothered to stay here for 3 hours, and I'm so isolated and covered by trees that it's not gonna dry at the same rate that it did the last time. So going into Thunder Bay, I will look for some sort of motel situation tonight, and that'll help dry some stuff out. And the next 3 days are going to be pretty grueling in terms of distance, and it's all going to be highway and stuff. So I think I'm going to want to stay in a decent place tonight, a hotel or motel or whatever. There's some options in Kenora. I shouldn't have that much issues finding something. If I can't, I still have the campground. If I can't find anything, which that'll have to do if I'm stuck. But given that, then the next campsite I will be staying at is in Jasper in Alberta. So I'm gonna have this coffee, maybe go take a short walk on the beach there, maybe grab some sun and warm up, and then a shower is definitely in order. No sun yet, but it's coming. Over there. 10-15 minutes. It's 7:30 already. I'm gonna take advantage of the showers, and so I'll be here until 9 for sure. which makes it all the more important to find a motel in Kenora, so I can get there a bit later and it won't matter. Coffee's hot. Let's get out of here. The lake looks really nice. Let's get out in the sun because I won't lie, it's a little bit damp. She's a little bit damp this morning. All right. I can't wait to get on the road and dry out. Let me apply some heated grips here for sure. It's a long day today. 818, so I will definitely be looking for a motel for the evening, and it's fine. I don't mind not completing every single bonus objective side mission on this quest because look, it's a bit damp, it's a bit cold. I slept way better than the other night in Shawville, so in comparison that was brilliant. Made a couple of adjustments to the sleep system and have successfully completed a night's sleep. That was not bad. So I'm up for this 800 today. I did 760 yesterday, like it's fine, and I ended up being here at 6:30. If I'm at the hotel at 7:30 or 8, like it's all good. I can have another dehydrated meal on the couch in the hotel. I don't have to go out in Kenora and find fast food. Like, I really don't care. It's fine. Now, as soon as I get any kind of cell service, I will be calling my loved ones to let them know that I have survived the night and that I will therefore be on my way to completing my main objective, which is make it to Vancouver. The bike so far is performing flawlessly. Goodbye, Neys. It's been fun knowing you. I'm good here, I'm good there, yes. All right, first stop is fuel. Now, I'm sure there's fuel before Thunder Bay proper. I got 260 clicks thereabouts worth of fuel, and that's about as far as Thunder Bay, but I'm sure there's fuel before Thunder Bay. Like, see, it's 264 to my turn in Thunder Bay, so I'm gonna find fuel before then. No worries at all. It's quiet today, so I'm gonna try to make up some time. Climbed atop some peaks here. We actually went up to 500 meters elevation. We had to make some full power passes, but we've made it through, and now we're going down back towards the lake. I'm looking forward to seeing if there's a view. I'm just trying to get out of the wind here. We're inside the clouds. It's there's no other way to say it.
It's quite beautiful, but eerie at the same time. And yeah, the lake is over there, and I just can't see any of it. But it's all good. We're passing through a cloud, look. Going back down really quickly, so the fog is still rolling down the mountains. I expected the land around Superior to be sort of flat, and it isn't. We're really in the shield right now. I'm honestly looking forward to there being a change in the scenery. I feel that I've seen enough trees, billions of them, over the last 3 days or so. I think tonight in Kenora is going to be the last night, or the last little while before we get into the prairies, and I'm told to expect a boredom, general peril, because of the highway there, but not peril, but just discomfort overall because of the high speeds for hours and hours and hours, and the no turns. But this is, I mean, the driving here, the riding is great. The asphalt, I've said this again, time and time again, is flawless. I have a lot of trust in the motorcycle, of course. I'm going to be talking about the bike at some point on this trip as I get to know it a little bit more during these long travels. So far, so good. And yeah, it's just the scenery just doesn't change. It's just this all the time. But the curves are nice, the asphalt is nice, there's not that much traffic, I can maintain a decent speed. Everybody here is doing over the speed limit fastly, so I'm just kind of following everybody's lead here. So yeah, I'm gonna stop in 50 or so kilometers. It's really chilly up here. I'm in the clouds. The humidity is really getting to under your skin, to the bones. It feels like I'm back in Britain. Stopping in Winnipeg here in 60 clicks or so. That's where I've decided to fuel up. Let's see, is the lake on the left? I mean, it is. I just can't see much of it. We're in a cloud. So you'll never guess, I've met this nice man in front of me at Tim Hortons, and he kindly offered, because we're going to the same place, we're going to BC, so he says, do you want to just ride, man? And I'm like, yeah. So he's got an old GS, the old Airhead, and he says, dude, just follow. And he's extremely seasoned. He's been around, and he'll do 1,000 kilometers in a day easily. And he was gonna go to Winnipeg, but he hasn't booked anything. So we just looked at each other and said, hey, look, what about Kenora? I have this campsite, you know, whatever. And he just said, look, let's just go for a bit. He can do 400 on a tank of gas before he has to stop. I have more range. So we're gonna stop when he stops, basically, and just discuss and see what comes of our day here. So it's awesome. I've never done this with another guy, with another GS for that matter. I've ridden with a buddy, but it's not like traveling. And I hear that you know, it's a lot nicer to do it with somebody else, and you can just follow each other's rhythm. He says he doesn't ride very fast. He's on vacation himself. He took 3 weeks off to do the trip that I'm doing in 2 weeks. He's taking more days off in BC than I am, but we'll see what happens. I mean, he looks like he can keep a pace, obviously, and I'll just follow his lead, and we're gonna use the same roads anyways. So his name is René, en français, s'il vous plaît. And yeah, it looks like the pace is going to be fine, and we're just going to row and see what happens. He's looking left. We'll just see what happens. Cheers. So we've made it to Thunder Bay. We're about to turn off the 11 here and get on the 102, kind of bypassing town a little bit. This is where Terry Fox unfortunately had to end his legendary jog in an attempt to cross Canada on foot. If you don't know who Terry Fox is, you should look him up immediately. Go ahead and press pause on this video and go do that. Absolute Canadian icon. Now, coming up here, Renee doesn't have to fuel up for another 400 or 360, I should say. So we're good. I'm just going to follow his pace and see what happens. The plan is for he and I to decide whether or not we look for accommodations in Kenora, like I wanted to do, or actually move along and make it to Winnipeg, which has a lot more options and therefore potentially better rates. He's a lot more go with the flow. He's used to longer days. He'll do 800 or 1,000, no problem. Whereas I have a hard time doing 750 like, you know, I had yesterday. So the thing with a hotel is you can get in there a lot later than you would need to get to a campsite. So Winnipeg is not completely out of the question. It would be 1,000 for me, but it would cut significantly into tomorrow, which would be nice. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how I feel. I got about 550 left to Kenora, and that right now feels totally doable. Just riding shotgun, sort of. Yeah, so we can tell right away the scenery is different. I mean, we're still in the forests, so to speak, but it's a lot flatter, and we're making good time. So right now, what is it, almost 2 o'clock? I'm kind of on the fence. There's 500 to Kenora, and it would be about 700 to Winnipeg. Right now, I feel good. I feel good about Winnipeg, but we're gonna wait and see how I feel a little bit later. Okay, so slight change of plans. Originally, my route was taking the 11 through Fort Francis to Kenora, so the long way, sort of. Renee just went straight onto the 17, and that saves us about an hour. I knew this going in, that my route was longest, and I think in hindsight that might be why he feels really good about Winnipeg right now. And yeah, if we save an hour, then for sure. So Kenora for 5 o'clock, 5:30 with the stop maybe, or Winnipeg for 7:30. Winnipeg sounds good right now. We just have to find a hotel. Okay, so I just saw a sign that's kind of crazy. We're about at 483 meter elevation, where we're up at 500 a couple of minutes ago, and I saw a sign that says from here on in towards the north is the Arctic Ocean watershed. So the water raining here will end up flowing into the Arctic. That's kind of nuts, given how relatively south we are. I mean, Lake Superior is just back that way. It's northern Ontario, but still, that's kind of impressive. I guess we're underneath Ongava Bay. Maybe that makes sense. I'll put it on the map here somewhere here, where we are relative to the Arctic, but that's kind of crazy that the Lake Superior is not like this watershed isn't for the lake. So something to take note of. I didn't know that. Yeah, so we've definitely reached a new section as Renee stands up a little bit. We've definitely reached a new section of the Canadian wilderness here. This is a lot more barren and more flat. We're definitely east of the prairies, and I'm sure we have a lot of coniferous forest to go, but there are fewer leafy trees. There's some birch still, but it's a lot of pine, a lot of cedar, and a lot of spruce. So yeah, we're heading almost due north right now, so yeah, it's a definitely different part of the province and a different part of the country here. It's crazy in the span of an hour how things change. Just south of the town of Uppsala, as I've just noticed the sign here. So yeah, changing scenery, which is very welcome, and we're making good time. Stop and put the rain kit on, in which case I'll have to put the camera away, but no signs of rain yet. It is clouding over, and Renee is doing just fine. Ignace. Moi j'appellerais ça Ignace en français. Oh Lord, something burnt down. Something happened here. Which is more I can say for the rest of the town, it looks like. Anyways, we're gonna stop for fuel here. I'm probably not gonna make it to Kenora on this tank, and he's gonna have to stop before me anyways, so I think it's time to stop. I might put the camera away, but it doesn't look like I think we passed the worst, and I do have a couple of water droplets on the windshield, but that's about it. So yeah, time for fuel, and I'm desperate for a Waz. It is with a full tank and an empty bladder that we proceed out of Ignace, Ignacio, onwards to Kelowna, 225 to go, and I think we have what it takes to make it to Winnipeg today. We'll see. We're going to stop in Kenora and have some food and look at accommodations, and at that point I'm going to decide whether I stay in Kenora at the campsite or if I proceed probably with Renee to Winnipeg. I left the camera on the helmet and I decided to remain with the hot weather gear, and I decided to forego donning my rain kit. We'll see how that turns out. If I have to peel out and put it on, then I shall do that.
Alright, so at this point, we're going to stop the video by me talking to you guys. This will be the end of episode 2. I want to tell you what happened, accompanied by a glass of red wine. Yes, I'm in the same hotel as the intro video that you saw in the beginning of this episode, and indeed all the other episodes, and thank you for watching and commenting and everything. I'm in the Hotel Saskatchewan in Regina, in Canada. It's a very beautiful hotel. I'm very glad to have it this evening, because the last couple days have been very, very grueling, specifically the end of this episode. So what happened was that we did get some rain at the tail end of our Ontario trip, or that section of the trip, into Kenora that afternoon. so the afternoon that you're watching. And because of the media mod on the GoPro that you're watching me use now, I had to put the camera away because it doesn't have that the water tightness that the camera by itself has. If I want to plug in a microphone and talk to you guys, I got to use the media mod and so on and so forth. I can't have it out in the rain. So that means that what you missed was the single biggest mistake and calamity of my motorcycling, I don't want to call it a career, but my motorcycling experience, okay? So we have dinner, a burger at A&W in Kenora, and Renee and I look at each other and say, look, there's time left, there's daylight left, let's just go to Winnipeg now. Instead of sleeping in Kenora trying to find a hotel, I had a campground all planned out and prepaid and stuff in Kenora. I was like, you know what? The lake is nice, but yeah, I wouldn't mind a hotel. It's 250 clicks thereabouts to Winnipeg. Let's just go to Winnipeg. So we go to Winnipeg. We fail to look at the weather maps. And I didn't don my rain gear when it was the right time. And as soon as we crossed into Manitoba, I could see the clouds. We didn't stop. There were a few showers coming by and left and right, and I could tell we were just kind of getting close. And then we hit the highway close to Winnipeg, and then the skies opened up, and I swear I was looking for Noah and his ark. Like, the amount of water was just biblical and obscene. So I was drenched to the bone. There was nowhere to stop. It was dangerous to stop by the side of the road to put my rain gear on really quick. There was no gas stations, nothing, no overpasses to hide under, nothing. So we stuck in there for a good 40 minutes. I was scared of hypothermia. Obviously, I couldn't film anything. And all I wanted was to get to that hotel that we had booked in the outskirts of Winnipeg ASAP and just grab a shower and go to bed. So we made it to a gas station. I was able to put on at least the rain jacket to keep me from getting super cold. I was drenched. Everything was soaked. It took half the day today, and you'll see that in the next episode, to dry off. Like, it was completely nuts. If it wasn't for René, I probably would have panicked. Like, I'm prone to anxiety sometimes, and this helps at the end of the evening. But if it wasn't for him and his calm, cool, and collectedness, he actually enjoyed himself quite a bit. He's got different gear, and I'll tell you about that later, but he was more adapted to the situation than me having to stop and having to, put my rain gear on. So I'm sorry you missed that. We're going to cut the video here. I'll invite you to comment about your experiences and what you like so far on this trip. Please think about giving me a like and a subscribe, and hit that bell icon for the next episodes. We're going to pick it up as we leave Winnipeg the next morning. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Cheers.